All right, and we are live for, I guess, my first live stream on my channel. Um, welcome,
I'm
Marty.
popping your live stream, Cherry. I feel so fucking. Oh my god! I feel.
That's how it goes, man. I mean, it has to happen sometime, right? But Marty, welcome. Thanks again for coming on, man. Yeah, it's just
yeah, but no, it
no. So Marty,
no, it's
let's
awesome that
see.
you invited me, dude. I appreciate that because you're a fucking legendary dude.
Ah, thanks, man. You're too kind. So Marty, so tell me about yourself, man. I mean, I guess let everybody know what's going on. What got you into collecting and stuff like that. What was your first, if you can remember, what was your first figure that you picked up?
First, okay, so you got to break it down into kind of two things. So my first collector's figure or my first figure as a kid, because I've got a good fucking memory. Which you want me to
Uh,
kind
okay.
of
So how about this? As a kid, let's go ahead and start back in the day, I guess.
first figure I can remember getting was my Egon Spangler, Kenner Egon Spangler. I still have it there. His legs and arms are gone all fucking wobbly, but I kind of at a young age, because okay, bit of a backstory, guys. I spent time in hospital, so I was that bit older when I went to kind of primary school or kindergarten or whatever you guys call it. So I had trouble making friends, and one thing I found was I just loved playing with action figures. Loved the Ghostbusters, loved the Ninja Turtles. Um, but yeah, I action figures were kind of my escape because I did eventually make friends as I got older and stuff. But for the most part, I'd bring action figures to school and play with them, and I'd usually stay inside in the lunchroom and stuff and do that. And I I was great. I was graced with having parents that were very ignorant of movies. So I was like, "Mom, can I stay up and watch Aliens?" And I was like, "Fucking 6 or 7." And yeah, Grant, whatever. Is there sex in it? No, no, it's just monsters killing people. Okay, yeah, you can watch that. Um,
Dismemberment
so
is fine.
yeah, it that was the one rule. I think everyone's parents had that rule. Look, if blood, guts, monsters, grand. If there's sex or if there's fucking boobs or whatever, no. But so it was kind of like I remember I was kind of chatting to Predpool, another YouTuber, and he was discussing that like collecting action figures and stuff is like making your own kind of world. Or well, as a kid, I'd make my sequel to Aliens with my Kenner Aliens and my Ghostbusters. I'd make Ghostbusters 3, fucking Power Rangers would turn up, but bullshit like so that was kind of what got me into action figure collecting. And again, my parents kind of leniency to let me watch stuff got me into the likes of Alien and Predator and The Thing. And I kind of stupidly, when I was younger, I give away a lot of my figures. I give away a lot of my Ghostbusters. I give away a lot of my Ninja Turtles. Give away a lot of my Jurassic Park stuff. I still to this day want to punch myself in the fucking face. I still had my Red Rex though. I still had my big Red Rex. But I the stuff I didn't get away, I boxed up and I put it away. And for the longest time, I was just like video games and books. And I had gotten a PlayStation magazine, an Irish PlayStation magazine. If anyone's wondering, I'm actually from Ireland. I'm fucking Irish. I'm not Scottish. Everyone fucking thinks I'm Scottish. I don't know why. But I got a PlayStation magazine, and there was a segment on collectors
Hmm.
of action figures. And I remember reading it. Two things struck me. All these collectors were like 17, 18, 19, kind of like they were that bit older. And the other thing is, some of these collectors were really fine looking fucking babes. So I was like, it's okay to collect stuff. So I remember a couple of times, because of my medical history and stuff, I'd have to go up to Dublin to get a checkup on my heart, and there was a huge comic book store that's still there to this day, Forbidden
Nice.
Planet, and the front part was all comics and the back part was action figures. And I remember going in, and the first ever kind of serious collector's figure I ever got was the McFarlane Movie Maniacs Alien 3 Dog Alien. And
Nice.
it was cool. Design again, I think I've discussed this with other people before. McFarlane stuff, they're more statuesques rather than action figures. But I do remember that Alien 3 figure. It had a button on the back of its head, and you pressed it, and its tongue came out. So that was my first kind of serious figure that I got. I then picked up 2 or 3 AVP figures. I got the Elder from the end of AVP, and I got the
I got that
Warrior
one too.
Alien with the sarcophagus. And then my next figure I got was a City Hunter with the kind of break off arm, the flintlock, another Movie Maniacs figure. And I kept on collecting. I went on from there. It was mainly Alien and Predator I started with, but then I kind of got addicted to NECA, and after the McFarlane stuff, because I got a bunch, the other Movie Maniacs behind me there that's on the wall, I got them. There was a place in Limerick, another part of Ireland, where I went to college, and there was Hollywood Empire, and it was closing down, and I got a bunch of Movie Maniacs. I think I
Nice.
got 8 of them for €100.
Oh wow.
So yeah, so that was I was happy out with that.
That's a really good price, man. I mean,
Yeah.
that's nuts.
So
We got
that's
a few
I got
people
the
in the
bug.
chat here. That's pretty good, man. That's pretty good. I mean, man, I wasn't able to collect back then too much during that time. I got few and far between. So we got several people in the chat, which is pretty cool. Jay, how's it going, man? Let's see. Sean's here. Hey, Sean. Thanks for
Hey
coming.
Sean.
Queen Mayan is here. Wow.
Hello.
Queen Mayan, how's it going? Brody, what's going on, little man? How you doing? Thanks for stopping by. And Jamie Hart's here. Hey, Jamie, how's it going?
Hello, Jamie.
Yeah, I think for me, I was very much a Ninja Turtles kid back in the day. I had some of the real Ghostbuster stuff, but I had a ton of Ninja Turtle stuff. It's insane. Like I mean, anything you could think of, anything you could
Oh,
possibly want. Like I had like the Technodrome, the blimp, the wagon, like, and all of that is gone, man. And knowing now what I know
oh,
now, it's like not having it. It's just it kills me. But at the same time, I'm not too much into. I'm more into horror as I've gotten older. So it's just more of like I did like Marvel. I mean, kind of the same as you. When I growing up was more video games, some books, but mostly comics. So I did read a lot of comic books, X-Men and stuff like that. Definitely loved a lot of movies growing up. I watched a lot, and like yourself, my it was funny. My mom was totally cool with me watching like all these action movies, and just like people
what was it? The
getting,
same rule? Was it the same rule as my
yeah,
folks?
yeah,
Yeah,
pretty much.
I think that was just the consensus for our generation, though, man. Like,
Yeah, it was like killing people like left and right. It's like, but as soon as like nudity comes up, cover your eyes. So I'd be like, that was the only thing. Other than that, it was my mom was fine with it. People getting dismembered, totally okay. I'd be at my cousin's house watching like horror movies and stuff. But no, yeah, it's just yeah, that's kind of where I came from, man. Just watching 80s action flicks and grew up as a Star Wars kid. Oddly enough, I was a Star Wars kid, but I didn't have much Star Wars stuff when I was younger.
that was weird. That's kind of I'm going to theorize, right? Because I'm guessing you and me are around the same fucking goal. So you had fucking the original vintage Kenner stuff, which would have gone out of circulation by the time we were kind of like of kind of 5, 6, 7. So say I'm guessing you again, like me, I'm saying you'd have been 5, 6 around 91, 92.
Uh, no, actually 91, 92, 92. I would have been 10.
Okay, okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm an old man.
Yeah, no, you're not. You're not. You're not. You're. I'd say you're only you're a year older than me. So, but like what I think, just we were born a bit too late for the Kenner stuff, the original Kenner stuff, because that was like what
Right.
79, 81, 83, maybe at a push with droids and the last wave, 87. So that stuff, if we had it, it was probably hand me downs from other family members.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's too, man. That's how it was. The just being like, what do you call it? Just a hand me down stuff. That's how it was
Yeah.
for me too. My original Nintendo was a hand me down from somebody else, so I got their collection, and then I bought my games from there, and then that became a hand me down for somebody else. The only thing that I ever got really new game console wise was from Super Nintendo and on. Even the original, or not the original, but one of the Atari versions I had before the Nintendo, it was also a hand me down. So it looks like
I
Jamie's saying my parents were pretty calm about me watching horror movies. They took me to see Jaws drive-in. Nice. That was pretty cool, Jamie.
That's pretty awesome.
Parents back then, I feel, just didn't. I guess they didn't really care about the violence.
I I do know because Predator 2 had that scene with that porn actress. It was my brother that rented out Predator 2 for me and let me watch it.
See what's
So
funny. Hey, Mikey, how's it going, man? Thanks for stopping by. For me, for it's funny. Predator 2 is like my uncle took me to go see it in the theater.
oh, you lucky bastard.
Yeah, so that was one of like that one. Trying to remember. I think I saw RoboCop, the original RoboCop in the theater. I know I saw RoboCop 2 in the theater. And it was that same uncle that took me to see RoboCop 2 as well. Um, yeah, but I remember seeing Predator 2 in the theater, and I was just like, "Oh man, this is crazy." And yeah, of course, I had to cover my eyes because he was like, "Cover your eyes," you know. Hey, we got the professor in the house. How's it going, Professor? Thanks for stopping by, man.
Hey, dude.
Yeah, it's nuts. Yeah, but that's how you're right. I honestly think that's what happened. A lot of people, or at least by our time, the original Star Wars stuff, those lines had already kind of dried up, because I think one of the only few Star Wars figures I had or anything, like I had the Emperor's like shuttlecraft, but it was like a variation of it. So it was like a
Nice.
mini, and then like you press a button and it kind of does the wings up, and then it came
That
with like a pilot or something.
I think that would have been the micro machines, the fucking Galoob kind of micro machines ones. Fleet, micro fleet.
Yeah, I think
Because
so.
it would have been the same, my Death Star kind of playset. It would
Hmm.
have been the same line as that. Um,
See, see, I had some of those ships, the micro machines. I had those, and then I had Star Trek. I had a bunch of those mini ships.
do you know what I'd love to get my fucking hands on? The fucking Predator scout ship that they done. And they done a prototype as well for the fucking ship from the first AVP comic, but it never went into production. Galoob done they
Oh wow.
done the Predator shuttle with
Hmm.
2 Predator figures, and then they showed off it was blue, but it had the exact same shape as the if you read the first Alien vs Predator comic, that ship that drops him off to Rushi, that same ship, but it never went into production. They also had Galoob were going to make, because they fucking made ganbusters with the Star Wars micro fleet. They were going to make Hadley's Hope,
Oh
and
wow.
that would have been fucking amazing.
That would have been cool. Jamie, I don't know what to say.
You don't
Uh,
fucking look it. You look fucking.
yeah, you
You,
don't look it.
I'm taken for. I love my missus to bits, but you look the fucking business, Jamie. I'll tell you that.
Mikey Mouse. It's funny. everybody, it looks like everybody's saying hi to everybody. It's cool, man. I really didn't think a lot of people would be showing up. I mean, 6 people are watching, so it's really, really cool. For this being the first one. So
I'm
again,
not fucking surprised. You're well liked. You're a fucking awesome dude. Why wouldn't fucking people congregate to your channel? Come on.
nobody likes me, man. What are you talking about?
I suppose
No,
the cartel did put that fucking hit out in you, all right. Yeah. So yeah.
that's why I'm hiding out, man.
An unknown location.
What's up, Monroy, man? Thanks for stopping by, brother. Yes, yeah. I mean, beyond that, I kind of so I would collect a lot of comics. So back then, it's not until I got older I wasn't really too much into figures too much. I think that's why I kind of got rid of them. I mostly played video games and comics and movies. So like I have totes of like DVDs and VHS like from back then and CDs. Like I still have all that stuff, but it's in like the garage right now. It's not
I
until I started getting older that I started collecting Star Wars figures here and there, but it was just stuff like, I wasn't collecting stuff that was like, oh, this is the variant of this, and this is this, and it was just like I was just grabbing whatever I thought was cool. I'm a huge Vader fan, so for me, and I love the Empire, so that was for me. I would always get anything that was Darth Vader or anything like that. So I had the OG Star Wars figures from 1978. Wow, that's
oh
nice. The ones with the lightsaber
um
that came out of the arms. Yeah, I remember
the
those.
Luke's lightsaber was fucking yellow.
Yeah.
It looked like a fucking glow stick. Also, Jamie, I would have sued my fucking parents in later life if I find out they did. Oh, so sickening. Jesus.
And according to Queen Mayanne, Jamie's lying. She's 35. Man, how could you lie to us like that, Jamie?
It's a clever ploy.
Yeah, I know, right? Let's see. No, yeah, from there I didn't really I did a lot of that stuff, and then now as I got older, I guess fast forward to I guess pandemic, that's when I started collecting a little. I started collecting art prints, and then stuff from Marvel, stuff from horror movies and stuff like that. And then I kind of just got off the Marvel stuff, and I went straight into more horror stuff. And ever since then I've been more horror. I actually the wife got me a. I think I told you about it. The Mondo Creature from the Black Lagoon. That's the one thing
Oh yeah,
that's always
yeah.
been consistent. I've always been a fan of the Universal monsters. So that was one thing since I was a kid. Orange books from my school library. I've always been a huge Universal Monsters fan. So anything Universal Monsters that would come up, I would always want to watch it and see it and stuff. So, but yeah, it all started with that Mondo figure, man. It was just that kind of. I kept waiting and waiting. I kept waiting for Mondo to do the other ones, and they never did. And then I started seeing NECA do stuff, and then I was just like, oh man. And then I was like, well, I guess Mondo's not going to do it, so let me start picking up NECA figures, and it kind of, and now here we are. It's kind of like crazy. Let's see. I still have my Star Wars figures from that era. Wow, it's crazy. I told my mom to back off when she wanted to donate some of my toys. Thanks, Sean. That's hardcore, man. That's pretty good. I should have did that to my mom. I should have
Don't touch
disowned
them.
her. Yeah, I should have disowned her for getting rid of my turtle stuff. That's nuts, dude. That's pretty cool, Sean. For us, I got old action figures from yard sales and destroyed young brothers. It's a miracle I've been able to keep what I could save. Wow, man.
Professor, I have a confession to make. I was the younger brother. My brother had, I'd say, about 40 Masters of the Universe figures. I tore off the arms. I
Oh,
tore off the legs. Um, I think I sat on his Grayskull and broke it.
wow.
So, like, I don't know. Maybe this is fucking recompense. Maybe this is the universe saying, "Hey, you gotta fucking make up for." As a joke. When they done the Masters of the Universe retro line, I got my brother a Skeletor. Like, he's not a figure collector or anything, or He's not. He's not like a kind of nerdy person at all. But hey, Katie.
Hey, Katie, how's it going?
I wrapped it up and gave it to him for Christmas, and he just burst his whole laugh, and he's like, "Okay, this is a start. You've a couple more to get me because I fucking destroyed a bunch. I feel so bad."
Looks
They
like you
are. They
lost some
are.
points with the professor there, Marty. No,
Yeah. Well,
yeah, I still have my the few that I do still have from back as a child. I still have my Skeletor, the battle damage version, to where
with
like
the
you hit him in
barrel
the
in the
yeah.
chest. Yeah.
I still have that one. I have a Chuck Norris figure, um, and I still have my original Raphael Ninja Turtle. But that's all I have from those figures. I have some random stuff that I had over the years. Um, yeah, it's like it's nuts, man. Let's see. Oh, look, man, she found the Frankenstein accessory set. Yeah, I'm not too much into the accessory packs. I just feel like you're paying the same price for a figure, an ultimate figure. So I don't know. I haven't picked up any of those yet. I mean, I'm sure you've picked up some stuff like that, right, Marty? For
For I picked up the Predator accessory pack that
mhm.
came with the skin. Oh, there was no way I wasn't picking that up with the skin corpse and the skulls, and I got a couple of creature packs from both Alien 3 and Alien Covenant,
Nice.
and they're nice, but I agree with you. Um, they're nice. There's some cool detailed stuff, but when you're paying the same amount as a figure that comes with a whole other fucking host of accessories, and you're like, am I getting bang for my buck?
Yeah, at the same time though, man, I mean, they're worth and they're hard to get now. I mean, they're worth some coin now. So it's kind of like I guess got to take the good with the bad.
I keep all the boxes and stuff. Like I know it's probably heresy to you, but I got a shelf over there with all my favorite kind of Alien Predator figures out, and I have the Alien Tree and the Covenant accessory packs mixed up, and I think I have the skinned corpses hanging over there on my video store. So like
Yeah, it was one of those things where again I couldn't. I don't know, man. I couldn't pick them up. I mean, I want to, and I've seen them. It's just more of like I'd rather just have the figures, and now they're making like the Frankenstein chair with a different version of Frankenstein, and I was just like, I don't need those. And I know they're doing like the glow in the dark Universal Monster ones, and I was just like, well, I'm not really feeling the design of those, so I was just like, I'm gonna stick just to the ultimates and stuff like that. I mean,
yeah, because if you go out and try and collect everything, like you'll be fucking bankrupt. You'll be fucking you won't have a fucking pot to piss in,
yeah, I know. Why the wife wouldn't be too happy about that either.
So, I'm sorry, kids, they're not going to college.
Yeah. It's like professor says I was able to save my OG battle cat. Oh nice. Power punch He-Man, horde guy, mosquito with the blood, mosquitor. Yeah, they had some weird names in those
Oh
Moto
yeah,
figures
yeah, yeah, yeah.
for sure.
Jen got me some ones that are exclusive to your side of the fucking pond. I got Mosquito and I got the Origins fucking battle damage Skeletor that my brother had. I had the battle damage He-Man. And yeah, it's just the Thundercat stuff. I was never a fan of them. I got Tigra, and I always
Mm,
found with the LJN figures, it was a shell, and if you dropped that once, that figure would fall apart because it was a hollow fucking shell with the arms and legs, and they weren't really they weren't soldered or kind of glued
mm,
properly in place, so they'd fall to bits very fucking easily. That's what I found anyway.
wow. I don't think I had any Thundercat stuff. I remember seeing the Silverhawk stuff, the Silverhawk figures. Those seem like real flimsy. Did you
Yeah,
ever see
again,
those or come across
it's
those?
LGN. Like, if they're not fucking up their video games, they're fucking up their figures. Like.
Now I will say, man, I do like the Friday 13th game for the NES. I thought that was really good.
Joe, I bitch and joke, and it's mainly due to fucking angry video game nerd and stuff watching that. Their fucking version of Alien 3 for the Super Nintendo was awesome as well.
Hmm. Yeah, that one was pretty good. I like the one for the Super Nintendo. I think we talked about this the last time. I like the Super Nintendo version. I
Yeah.
mean, the other LJN game that's really good for the Super Nintendo was Maximum Carnage.
Spider-Man,
Surprisingly,
that fucking
yeah.
Spider-Man game was fucking amazing.
Let's see. For all those loose figures, I do the old sandwich bag trick. Yeah, I mean to keep them all together. Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. That's definitely a good one. Uh, Wish I would have kept the skunk
Stinkor.
one. Yeah, I recently saw, I guess, a re-release of Mossman, the one
Is
for
he
I guess the
piney?
newer
I
one.
wonder, does he smell of pine
I don't
as
know. He looks. I mean, he looks like Swamp Thing, which was pretty cool. Like I saw him at an Ollie's at a great price. I almost picked him up just because he looked like Swamp Thing, but I was just like, I don't want to start collecting that stuff, man. It's like
I oh sorry dude.
no, no, it's just it's. I'm just like, no, man, I can't. I gotta stick with like, as if not, I'm not gonna have a room.
Yeah,
You know.
it's like the biggest fucking problem, and I know, fucking first world problem is, it's like, where do you put all this shit? I'm being super selective now, and I'm telling Jen, please stop fucking buying me stuff, because I literally don't have space for it.
Yeah, I'm not getting there completely yet. As you can see, I still have like, or sorry, this side I got wall space there. I just bought another cabinet for display. So what you don't see on this side is I have a like a cabinet with all of my Universal Monster stuff on the top of it, and then some Funkos in in the little cubbies and stuff. Um, so yeah, I need to build that, and then so I can display some more stuff. It's just yeah, man, it's just a lot of stuff. I can't really when doing this, I didn't think that I'd be like, oh, I got to get that and I got to get that. But at the same time, I'm able to review stuff too. So, I mean, it's more content. You know what I mean?
Like, I think as well that, there was a time there where I'd go into like a GameStop or something, and there was a figure on discount, and it wasn't so much I wanted the figure, it was just, it was on discount and it was there, and pick it up. And that was a fucking habit I had for a long time, and I had to curtail, because I was like, I don't have space for the shit I want, because I'm buying this stuff that's just fucking cheap. I don't know if you ever, again, I know you said you're newer to kind of collecting and stuff, but like,
Well,
did you ever buy something and then be like, oh, cool? You bought it because it was either on discount or because it was like a fucking special offer or something, and then you got it home, and then you're like, what the fuck did I get this for?
uh, I'm trying to think. Yeah, there was maybe like some Funkos. Like I bought a Walgreens exclusive Bishop Funko. I mean, it's small, but it's kind of like I used to like the old X-Men cartoons, and it's the X-Men. It's the cartoon version of Bishop. So I was like, oh man, I want to pick that up, and I found a store that had it near me, so I picked it up, and now it's just in the closet. I'm just like, do I really want it? I have my Gambit out. I have my Rogue, uh, my Zombie Gambit, and my Zombie Rogue out. I mean, but I don't know. I mean, most of my Funko stuff is really just horror and then Blade Runner. You know.
Have you got a couple of X-Men Funkos? Because like, you could do a fucking review on the X-Men Funkos when X-Men 98 comes out. I think it's supposed to come out in the summer this year.
Yeah, I've done a review for. I think I did a review for the Zombie Rogue, if I'm not mistaken. I think I did that one. Um, and then I have some other X Men like Marvel Legends figures. Like I have Magneto from Age of Apocalypse. I have a Sabretooth. I just got a Cyclops from the Age of Apocalypse also. Again, I only picked it up because it's like I love that comic series or that story arc of Age of
Are
Apocalypse.
you if you end up buying all of them? Have you? If yeah, did you have? Do you have the Rogue from Age of Apocalypse? No.
Not yet. I haven't seen it. I've never seen it in store. So my first two, I got Legion, and then I got Magneto from a place online that had them like at a crazy discounted price. So that's how I got those. And then when I went to Ollie's recently, I saw the one the one Cyclops. So I picked that up. The Iceman looks really cool. I want to pick that one up. But yeah, the Rogue would be pretty cool. I'd like to get that whole series because they have a Sabretooth, and Sabretooth is one of my favorite villains from X-Men. So
If by chance you find all the figures, and I know you're not big on the character, but if by chance you find all the figures and you don't find Rogue, I'll just mail you the fucking arm I got with her. Because at least that way you get to complete fucking Colossus. Again, I know you're not a Colossus fan, but it's just fucking maligning in I've got this bag of like it's like fucking the island of Dr. Moreau or Frankenstein or some shit with just arms and legs and stuff from different build of figures, because it's, unless they're heavily discounted, the Marvel Legends stuff, to pick up the whole fucking line, you're looking fucking well over 150.
yeah, yeah, I've seen that too, where they sell it in the waves, and it's just kind of like, I don't know. That's why I'm kind of trying to see where I pick them up here and there, and if I see them at a good deal, I'll pick them up. I mean, if I pay retail or a little bit over for at least one of them, I'm fine with that. But if I can get the rest of them or most of them at a discounted rate, that'd be really cool. Uh, yeah, Monroy, man, it's a gorgeous figure. It's coming, man. It's coming. So you don't have to wait too long. That one is coming. I also, as I mentioned in today's video, I'm gonna be reviewing the T1000 from Terminator 2, and another one just kind of give you all a inside information. I'm getting the Alex Murphy. That one's coming in too soon.
Nice.
So
Um,
yeah, I can't wait,
which
man.
which T1 is it's a NECA T1000?
Hmm.
Pescadero or Steel Plant?
It's the biker one where he's got the bike
Okay,
helmet.
okay. Oh, Cyberdyne. That's Cyberdyne.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's three. It's three to release. There was
Hmm.
fucking. There was Pescadero, the biker, and now they're the ultimate. They're the ultimate ones. They actually kind of they messed up, I think, with the biker one, because I think they gave him a split head when his
Hmm.
head wasn't split only in Pescadero. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe I'm wrong.
when he shot at the elevator.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, you're right. They did kind of mess up with that, and yeah, Professor Thick Rogue. Let's see. Hot take: Age of Apocalypse is the best X-Men storyline of all time. Have you read that one, Marty? Age of Apocalypse.
Yeah. I sadly I came by. I was big into comics, but it was mainly Alien and Predator and stuff. And I had a friend who I still miss to this day. They passed away from cancer. Before they passed, they gave me a fuck ton of their comics, and that was one of them. And I really enjoyed. They were a big X-Men fan. They loved their fucking X-Men, and that was cool. Like fucking
Yeah, that's
Xavier's
awesome,
dead.
man.
Fucking Magneto's leading the X-Men, and they have to stop Apocalypse. That was like that
Wolverine
was a
had his hand blasted off by Cyclops. He took out one of his eyes. I
I,
mean, yeah, it's crazy, man. Yeah, it is it's one of my favorites, but it's not my favorite of all time. I do love Fatal Attraction. That's probably one of my favorite ones, where Magneto removes the adamantium from Wolverine's bones. And then even leading into Age of Apocalypse, I love Legion Quest. That was the first time I had ever heard of Legion, and I mean, just yeah, I mean, Legion is a total beast. Like he's basically a mutant god, if you want to think about it like that. Did you ever watch the show? Did you ever check out that show or no?
Um, I did after Prey because I like I had a bit of a crush on Amber Mid Thunder. I'd
Mm.
watched it before
She's great. She's
because
great in that
Audrey
show.
Plaza was in it, and yeah, she kicked ass in that. She fucking. I hope she's in more stuff. Like
Yeah, I hope so too. She's really
I
good. I
oh
thought she
sorry,
was really good in the show.
yeah, she kicked ass in the show. A lot of people now. I know they're planning on bringing Daphne Keane back, but a lot of people were saying that I know she was in Legion, but to have her as an adult X-23, what do you think about that?
I mean, I don't. I mean, she played a good role with it. I
Mm.
mean, I don't see if you were to tell me like have her or I guess your question is if her Amber Mid Thunder to take over for her. Is that what you're saying? Or
Yeah, yeah, but basically people were saying that Amber Mid Thunder should take over, but I thought Daphne Keane done a good job, and she's like 19,
Mhm.
20 now, so you could.
Yeah, she could totally play the role for sure at
Mm.
her age now. If she wasn't, like if they did X-23 like a year or two after Logan, yeah, totally. I would totally be down for Amber Mid Thunder. She's a really good actress, and I mean, she knows how to emote really
Mm.
well. You see that in Legion, and then you see that in Prey
Pray,
for sure.
yeah.
She can handle herself. And okay, we got a question from Brody. What's your most valuable figure?
Oh fuck. Like that's hard. I can tell you what my most valuable figure I have. I bought my most expensive figure I bought at the time, but I've stuff here that I got cheap as chips back in the day that are probably fucking dear enough. I have a sort of toys American Werewolf statue bust that's going for a nice fucking bit online. And shit. What else? You saw my I've got a Hot Toys Greyback, but I got him fairly cheap because a lot of his accessories were missing. But I'm
Mm,
thinking of just kind of buying parts and piecemeal and fixing him up. So I'd say the Soda Toys American. Well, bear with me 1 minute. Hold on, I should be right back.
okay, no problem. As for me, Brody, it's kind of that's a hard one because there's some figures. I guess the most I've ever paid for a figure was probably it's been like I think it's been like $80, and that was a well, actually that's a couple of them. There was my Dawn of the Dead Flyboy, and then also another Dawn of the Dead figure, the plaid shirt zombie from NECA. Those are probably like the most I've paid for a figure.
Again, it's not a figure as such, but it's a bust, and it's very hard to get now.
Yeah, and I remember you were saying in the other live stream with on Garrett's channel that it's like if you were to find those to pick them up because they're very like rare and hard to find now.
Also, my first ever action figure, my
Oh,
my
nice.
my
I
Egon,
I had that one,
and
man. I like those. Oh wow, it's like super loose now.
uh,
I like the proton packs that they had with those with the little
yeah, but
the
the
twisty.
neutrino streams that came out with them would snap like
Hmm.
fuck. They would you just sneeze on them and they'd break in half. Like fuck.
Yeah, I had so much fun with those though, man. I really like those. I hope that answers your question, Brody. Let's see. Mello, how's it going, man? Thanks for stopping by, dude. Looks like everybody's like saying hi to everybody. That's cool. That's cool.
Dude,
Mine's Halloween Evolution of Evil.
I'm so glad you're bringing up the chat because that fucking notification from McAfee has the entire right hand side of my fucking screen blocked, so I can't see shit.
You just gotta uninstall it, man. You gotta stop giving McAfee
I
your
never
money and your.
installed it in the first place. It was on the fucking laptop. And it's like reinstall. No, I want you to die. I want you to leave.
Like, that's how they get you, man. That's how they get you. Yeah, that Evolution of Evil, that one's a pricey one, Brody, for sure. I've seen it online go for a lot of coin.
Is
And
that the diorama with both adult and kid Michael?
yes,
Yeah,
yeah, and it
that's
comes with the tombstone, and
yeah,
then I think it comes with a pumpkin also.
yeah. I
Um,
I seen that back in the day in a shop in Limerick, and it looked fucking awesome then.
yeah, it's crazy, man. I did some I guess I don't know what you would call it, some legwork for the last toy store at the last Texas Frightmare because John Carpenter was there. So they, I followed them on the socials and stuff like that, and I told them I was going, and then they said, "Hey, if we send you something, can you get it signed by Carpenter, and we'll pay you back and stuff like that." I was like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." So they sent me that one to have him sign on the actual like the plastic of
I
the clamshell.
I would have said, lads, bad news. Carpenter wanted to keep it. I just fucking kept it for myself.
Ah man,
Who's gonna fucking give out? Who's gonna be like, wait, what? Well, I couldn't
so
say no. I suppose.
my guilty conscience, man. I couldn't do that.
Fuck that.
No, man, they're real cool too. I mean, they've taken care of me quite a bit. I mean, one of the videos I did of um, what was it? Trick or Treat figure, the Michael Myers, the bigger one, the from 2018. Yeah, they gave me a stupid crazy price on that, man. Like ridiculous price on that. So like, yeah, they've taken care of me pretty well and stuff. So
No,
that's
I was taking a piss, but it
I
would
know,
be
man. I
funny
know.
if you just turned around and said Carpenter
It's like,
wanted to keep us. What can I
yeah, I
say?
know. It's like Carpenter wanted. I mean, would you rather me say no to Carpenter? How can I say no to Carpenter? Yeah, Brody, that one's pricey, man. I've seen that one online. It goes for crazy coin. It's nuts. Yeah, I don't think I'd ever be able to pick up that one at this point. I'm actually surprised I got my John Matrix for the price I did at some place local. I
Yeah,
was just like,
because
man,
that him and Rambo, like, they're fucking, they go for a shit ton of money,
yeah,
man.
yeah. I mean, I'm waiting to see if NECA would do maybe a 40th anniversary for Commando. That'd be nice. They need to, like I said before, they need to do a Bennett, man. That'd be
Hey, yeah,
really.
yeah, fucking to a boiler room fucking setting with
Mhm.
like fucking if you're going to do the boiler room set and just recycle fucking Dutch,
Yeah.
Final Confrontation Dutch, and
Hmm.
just change the color and shit. Um, like
Thanks, man. I got this at that same Texas Fright Brothers last year. So
it's an awesome
yeah,
hat.
I'm really. I saw it and I got the last one too. I was like, man, I'm taking this. Let's see. Only two things I own that might be worth something is Zombie Captain America bust. Oh, nice. That's pretty cool. Yeah, those figures are pretty pricey too. Those Kodu Bukai. I don't know how to say. I'm probably butchering that.
Kotobukiya,
Yeah.
bro, I have a love hate relationship with that fucking company. I don't know if you watched my review of the Kotobukiya dog alien statue I got.
Yes. Yeah, I did.
Big
The one.
fucking box, big ass, huge fucking box. Took it out. I'm like, what the fuck? What? What? I mean, it was smaller than him.
Man, that's crazy, man. That's nuts. And I think I sent you a picture of it. I have Psylocke, the Kodobukai Psylocke. That's the one that I have. I have that statue. I haven't opened it yet. Maybe I don't know. Maybe when the X-Men comes out, maybe I'll review that one. But that
Yeah,
one,
yeah, kind of
I got a
coasting
few
the
years back.
wave of fucking 98's kind of
Hmm.
resurgence. Or fucking Deadpool. Fucking if Deadpool came out, like,
Childhood. That's pretty cool. Sentimental value, yeah, of course, man. That's another thing too. Sentimental from like all the older stuff. I mean, like I said, if I wish I still had all my old figures from TMNT, man. That's nuts. And
yeah,
then
it's
man is saying, "Give us Jason Takes Manhattan." Yeah, that would be an interesting one. It's funny with Jason Takes Manhattan. I I have no problem with it compared to like say Jason Goes to Hell. I don't like that movie too much. I like the design of Jason in that, but I don't know. I didn't realize how bad it was. Uh, but I don't like the face of Jason and Jason Takes Manhattan. It's
Oh
just
yeah,
like,
he turns into a fucking muppet when he's in the sewer.
yeah, I'm like, what?
Oh, fucking what the
How do you go from the greatness that is Jason 7, Zombie Jason, to Muppet Baby Jason?
Yeah, Manhattan was fucking. As I joke, me and my friends joke, it shouldn't be called Jason Takes Manhattan. It should be called Jason Takes the Ferry, because it's most of it's set in board a ferry, and
Yeah,
like I
Crystal Lake somehow connects to over to you know this lake connects
how
over
the
to.
fuck did that get to? It's just bizarre, and like that was I okay. I there's probably going to be some shade thrown. I will take Jason Goes to Hell over Jason Goes to Takes Manhattan. Honest to God, I see your point as well. I see your point because Jason doesn't feature in a fucking movie as much for a title called Jason Goes to Hell, but
Yeah,
it's just there's there's just so many fucking bizarre things going. There's a lot of bizarre shit in Jason Goes to Hell, but like, how does the big fucking kind of yacht ferry fucking thing get into Crystal Lake and then out to the ocean? How does toxic waste get poured through acidic toxic waste get poured through New York? Why the fuck does Jason turn into a child who isn't deformed anymore? All these questions and more will not be fucking answered.
they are answered. Plot. That's the answer. It's just plot.
They have to.
Yeah, they have to happen. Looks like Bella says when I was a kid, I had close to every figure from Tim and T. Yeah, yeah. We were talking about that earlier, man. Like I had
Yeah.
almost everything and anything of TMNT. Oh, nice. The two live action. From the two live actions, I had I didn't I had the wolf. That was Toka, right?
Yeah, and Razor was the kind of snapping turtle.
I didn't have that one. I had Toka. That one was really cool, man.
Did you
Man.
see? Did you see when they near the end of the animated series they brought Toka and Razor into the animated series and they made
Mhm.
them a gay couple. It was weird. They were chatting to each other. They were like, "You're so considerate, Toka. I know Razor. You're my friend." It's like, what the fuck? It was just I care about you. It's like, and the voices they gave him as well. It was just funny.
Man, it's been so long since I've seen those. I wish they were like streaming somewhere. I'd go back and watch those. Just like when the X-Men cartoons came to Disney Plus, man, I started binge watching that like crazy. And it was a Saturday morning too, so ironic. It's like back in my childhood, man. I just didn't have the cereal. That's all I was missing.
I
Uh,
do think you can watch. There is a couple of YouTube channels that live stream the episodes 24/7.
oh
They'll
wow.
play 7 episodes through 24 hours, and they'll go through like a season in
Oh
half a
wow.
week.
Nice. That's pretty cool. I know Crackle used to have the real Ghostbusters. I was watching that too. That's really cool. I
Mm.
miss those. Those cartoons were really good. I mean, for them being cartoons, they threw well the earlier seasons. The later as it started becoming more childish and cartoonish, like but the earlier ones, the animation was really like creepy and
Yeah,
the stories were a lot darker and stuff. So that was pretty cool.
there was one. Do not open till doomsday, where like these guys are digging a tunnel in New York and they find like this big fucking seal and they open it
Hmm.
and it's like fucking it's Lovecraftian basically.
Hmm.
The subway gets like possessed by fucking demons, and I remember Ray is like walking down a platform, and this blonde with her back turned, and Ray's like, Ray being Ray, he's like, "Hey,
Hmm.
baby," and he turns around with skeleton face and just starts screaming. And I go, "Oh, looks like someone has an issue with gingivitis," and yeah, that was fucking scary for the time. Some of the designs were fucking creepy and crazy and shit. Like, you know.
Yeah, my favorites were the Sam Hain ones. Those were really cool.
Yeah,
Those one was really good.
I still I can't forgive you for not pronouncing it properly though. Samhain.
Oh, sorry,
Samhain.
Samhain. Sorry,
No, not your fault. That's what the episode said it was.
I'm Americanized. I'm sorry, man.
No, you're okay. You're okay. You're out. God, you're grand. You're grand.
So according to Mayan, Jason wanted to take a cruise. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. You can take a cruise every now and again.
Yeah,
It's not
well,
too bad. I used
that's
to do it
grand.
in high
That's
school.
grand. If just fucking call it take. Yes, it is, and it's actually elaborated on in the comic Freddy versus Jason as well. That Pamela Voorhees had access to the Necronomicon. That's why it was in the house. That's why the Necronomicon was in the Voorhees house, which suddenly popped out of nowhere. The Voorhees of a fucking estate or a mansion or some fucking, I don't know.
Now, do you think they should have done the what was it in going to Freddy versus Jason? Do you think they should have done the that supposed alternate ending where it was going to
With
be
the
like
gladiator, the gladiatorial thing with all the other slashers watching.
no, there was going to be one where supposedly like Pinhead was going to come out.
That okay, so yeah, I know the one you're talking about. So essentially, Freddy and Jason are in an arena, and Pinhead comes down and goes, "It seems you gentlemen have a dispute. This is how we settle things in hell." And like, there was supposed to be Candyman, there was supposed to be fucking Charles Lee Ray, there was supposed to be a bunch of other fucking slashers there, and they're all screaming and cheering as they fight. But I'm guessing New Line just could not get
The
um
rights,
yeah.
because I think they wanted to do a for a while. They were talking Freddy versus Jason versus Ash 2, right?
Yeah, there's a comic. There's a
I know there's a
series of
comic.
comics.
I know there's a comic, but I think they were wanting to do that next or something. I couldn't remember. And then they
Did
had to make it in comic form instead because they
yeah.
couldn't get the rights or something like that. Extreme Ghostbusters, yeah, that was a good one too. Extreme Ghostbusters was had some it was darker. It was definitely a lot darker than what was going towards the end of Real Ghostbusters. Did you ever see that one?
Yeah, that was really fucking good as well, because as you said, it approached a lot more mature stuff. I remember there was one episode where this golem is going around destroying different kind of venues and nightclubs and places, and it can't be stopped. And I forget the character who's in the wheelchair, but his friend is a racist, and he gives one of the lads fucking shit. And it turns out he bullied this young kind of the son of this rabbi, and the son of the rabbi brought the fucking golem to life, but he can't control it. And it was like, this is fucking heavy shit. Like, they're dealing with racism, but they're also dealing with a golem. Like, you're incurring this force that you can't control, and it's just bigotry leads to bigotry. I just thought it was a really good fucking episode.
Yeah, I mean, and it was done really well in instilling a message like that in a cartoon. Whereas I don't want to go too much political here.
Nowadays, it's over your head with a fucking hammer. Back in our day, they done the message, but the message never got in the way with the story. It worked in unison. There was a symbiosis with that. I
Yeah,
am
definitely
all for
agree, man.
progression, and I know you're like me. I know you're like me, Larry. You don't like fucking. You like to keep things fun and fucking free spirited and stuff. But I do think that you definitely have a message, but do it in such a way it works in unison with the plot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for a message, and I'm all for but when it's a movie's a movie, keep it a movie. Don't give me a political pamphlet and disguise it as Star Wars and stuff like that. I mean, even with what you were saying about the Predator omnibus, which I have to tell you, man, after several of our conversations, this recent comic book store that I went to, where I found the Muddy Dutch or whatever Funko. I was looking for trying to find an old school Predator omnibus sort of thing, something like an old Predator story or something, so I can bone up on my Predator knowledge from the comics.
It's it's
So
it's going to be very hard to get those Dark Horse collected editions. I got them day one because there was I had a lot of the regular graphic novels, but some of those stories, like Hell Come a Walking and stuff, they were never printed as a trade paperback. You had to get them as singles, because I think at the time they kind of focused on the kind of major stories that featured either Machiko Nagachi or Dutch's brother or Wilkes Billy, which are Hicks and Newt in that universe, and the other stories were kind of they were kind of shot out as just single issues and you could collect them. And there was a lot of one shots as well. So if you ever wanted to get the more obscure stories like those historical ones and stuff, you would have to get them in the omnibus.
yeah, that's the one thing I'm on the hunt for that now, man. I mean, I haven't been to a comic convention in a good while. I mostly go to horror conventions now, so hopefully maybe I can find something, because sometimes they do have some comic vendors there, and so maybe I'll find something. Hopefully, we'll see. Yeah, Mellow. I mean, Extreme Ghostbusters is really good. I don't really remember the RoboCop cartoon too much, but I
I
do.
don't, I don't, I don't either. I'm maybe one episode.
Yeah, but I did have the. I had the main figure, the one, the cap.
With the cap and the
Yeah,
and the back, yeah. I think
yeah,
everyone
the
had that
caps in
one.
the back. And hey, Alucard, how's it going, man? Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for coming by, man. I mean, I'm again, Marty. This is cool. Like, people are stopping by and everything. Good
I,
stuff.
Again, why are you fucking shocked? You're a fucking nice guy. You're a decent fucking bloke. Why? It's like,
Well, for one, this was impromptu. I had just told you, I was like, hey, man, you wanna just talk and you know shoot the stuff, and you're like, yeah, sure. I was like, all right, well, let's see if it's just us talking back and forth, nobody around, it's all good. But I mean, hey, there's people here. That's super cool, man. Reed, Spicy 4K is here too. Pretty cool. Awesome, man. Thanks for stopping by. Let's see. I keep telling you, I know, Monroy, man. One of these days I'll get out there, dude. I'm definitely trying. I'll definitely love to go out to Comic Con at least once, just to say that I went. I know Professor Macabre was there last year, if I am not mistaken. So yeah, I'm sure it was really, really cool, man. Uh, remember the NES? Oh, cool. I remember more the. I did play that one, but I remember more the arcade one. Did you ever play that one, Marty?
no, I had RoboCop 2 for the NES, and I remember if you wanted to gain extra lives, there was this tile puzzle where you had to put Alex Murphy's face back together again. It was fucking weird. It was like bonus mission. There was, yeah, between missions you could get extra lives by doing the kind of shooting gallery, or you
Hmm.
could like I think get extra continues if you got Alex Murphy's face back together again in an allotted fucking time, which was weird. It's just
Well, it's
God.
like that. It's like in that Alien 3 game where you had to save, like, you couldn't go further in the stage if you didn't save, unless you saved
Oh
everybody,
yeah.
and then you had
I
that
hated
ridiculous.
that one.
Uh,
I fucking hated that fucking murder fucking timer.
yeah, man, I remember that, and I would either never find them and run out of time, or I would just get killed because I would just like be running back and forth, and I'd end up running out of ammo, and just, yeah, I would just end up getting killed, run out of time. I mean, I could never pass it. That's one game or there's several obviously NES games I couldn't pass. Like my buddy Monroy, who's here in the chat, he and I, man, we would play Friday the 13th all the time. We could never pass it. We got one time where we killed Jason the first bar, and that was it. Like, we couldn't we couldn't get past that.
I did think it was funny that those games. Well, obviously they had to back in the they had to pad out the game with like other zombies and stuff. And did you get to the cabin where you had to fight? You didn't get near Pamela Voorhees' floating head, did you?
No,
She was a boss. Pamela's head.
Yeah, I couldn't. I would always get lost in the cave. I could never. No, in the woods. I could never find her. Like I don't know. Like I would just. I felt like I kept going. You know, all turned around and then never could find her, and I would end up like either getting killed because I would just get lost or something. Man, it was just nuts.
I think was it AVGN said if you go to Pamela's cabin, secret cabin, you defeat Pamela, you get her sweater, and if you had her sweater on, it would only take half the amount of hits required to kill Jason. If you had the sweater, if you kind of equipped the sweater when you're fighting Jason.
That I don't know. Like I said, I never got to that point. I know we beat Jason's one life bar, and yeah, it was just like, oh, he's gonna come back stronger and harder. And by that point, I think we were like down to our last two camp counselors, so it was like forget about it. Man. We were done. Yeah, same Macabro. He was at a Comic Con last year, beast of an event, tons of neat stuff to buy. Yeah, I bet, man. Shipping stuff back home would sure get you in trouble, dude. Yeah, that's the other thing too, man. Having to ship like if you get anything major. I never owned an NES. I always played on my cousin's house. My first console in the household was Genesis. See, that's interesting, Mello, because um, I was an NES kid. My cousin had the Genesis, so so it was role reverse. I would go to his house and play the Genesis, and then he would go to my house and play NES. Same with the Super Nintendo. He had the Genesis, and he would just I had my Super Nintendo.
Did you ever play fucking Predator 2 on the Genesis?
Uh, Trying to remember. I feel like my cousin had it, or he rented it at one time, but I can't remember. I don't remember playing it.
It's
I vaguely remember because I remember the cover and I remember the cartridge. Like I feel like he rented it, but we never played it. Like I didn't play it when he was there. I'm trying to remember. It's a vague memory of that though.
I played an emulator of it and it was fun, but it's just it goes again. Basically, as well as collecting drugs, you have to rescue hostages. And if you don't get to the hostages in time, and now keep in mind these hostages are bound and tied up and totally defenseless. If you don't get to the hostages in time, the predator will shoot them and like their eyeball and jaw will like shoot up towards us. But it's like I remember playing this. This is fun, but a
Nice.
predator wouldn't fucking kill. And you have to rescue hostages as well. You in the first one, you have to rescue. In the first part, you're rescuing civilians. In the second part, you're rescuing Garber's team that have been captured and taken back to the predator ship. And you're like, fucking hell! They really took some liberties with this fucking movie
Well, I
or
mean,
this game.
they did that with a lot of those games, man. I
Alien
mean,
3,
yep,
fucking
Alien 3
Ripley has weapons and
has
300
weapons.
fucking aliens.
Yeah, for sure. And then same with Nightmare on Elm Street, but Nightmare on Elm Street was pretty good. I mean, but I mean, it was just like there was like zombies and there was like bats and flying
Snakes
skulls
and
and
yeah.
yeah, snakes and it's like really, you know, Friday the 13th, RoboCop, Duck Hunt, yeah, the classics, man. Mario Brothers, Paperboy. Paperboy was fun. I liked playing that one.
Paperboy.
Wow. So we're like gaming, man. He's here. Hey, how's it going, man? If you haven't checked out his channel too, man, Marty, he does like some horror game stuff. That's pretty cool.
Hmm.
Yeah, always Zelda on NES for me. Yeah, that was a really good one. My favorite Zelda game was Link to the Past for and the original, but Link to the Past is probably my favorite for the
I
SNES.
could never get into Zelda.
Really?
I didn't have the patience.
Like I said, I mean, I didn't get into the later ones. It was mostly like I feel like Link to the Past was probably it for me, and it's still my favorite for sure. So I've been MIA trying to catch up on everyone's content. Oh, that's cool, man. Just glad you stopped by, man. I mean, you know, it's all good. Oh man, this one was really good. Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Yeah, I love that game. That one. Did you ever hear about that one? It was on Sega also.
I maybe played it once at a friend's house, but I never got into it. I remember playing the Home Alone game on the Sega.
That one
and
was good.
enjoying that. That was
That
fun.
one was fun. My cousin had that one. We would play that one a lot. That one was a
Just
lot of fun.
fucking leaving down traps for fucking Harry and Marv.
No, and then just it also had that a system, right, where you can just like make random weapons too, right? If I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah.
So
There,
like
there was one you could turn a snowblower and you could turn one of the lads into a snowball and they'd fucking roll out
mhm.
of the house or something.
Yeah, I remember that one. Man, that was a good game, and the
Yeah,
graphics
it
for
was a
that were
brilliant
really
game.
good. It was really good for that. Let's see. Oh yeah, here we go. Turtles in Time. Yep, that's my favorite Turtles game for sure.
Bastard fucking hard though. Bastard hard game.
Really? Well, this one or the Hyperstone Heist? Because Sega got the Hyperstone Heist, right?
Turtles in Time was for the Super NES, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. I thought Turtles. Now maybe I was just shit at video gaming at the time, or I was still fucking. Again, I played that at a friend of mine's house, and that game just used to kick my ass. I think I'd get maybe as far as the sewers, and there's bits where you're on like surfboards or fucking
Hmm.
hoverboards, and the kind of
The
mutants.
spikes.
Yeah, and would come out and fucking kill you and stuff. That I
Yeah.
never got past that.
Oh wow. Yeah. No, that game was fun, man. I always loved playing that one. That was actually one of the first games I got for the Super Nintendo. Now, funny story about that is at the time I borrowed the Street Fighter 2. I borrowed from a buddy of mine from back then, and then I lent him Turtles in Time. And then that weekend that I lent him Turtles in Time, his apartment's burned down, so my game was gone. And then he said I can keep Street Fighter 2, and yeah, then I became huge into Street Fighter 2. And he also, because he felt bad, he gave me, and I don't know if this was a punishment, but he gave me the VHS of Ninja Turtles 3.
Oh,
Yeah,
maybe he's
he
just
pro-
angry that his apartment burnt down. Don't be
yeah,
too
he's like,
hard on the
here,
fucking dude.
he's like, this survived. Here, you can have this
Um,
garbage.
uh,
You know.
Speaking of Street Fighter, considering your thoughts on the Jeddah creature from the Black Lagoon, would you consider getting any of the Jeddah Street Fighter figures?
Oh, of course, man. I'm kicking myself for missing out on the Shin Ryu.
I want to get to Chun Li, and I think there's a Kami coming out.
I think they're gonna do like so. Whatever you see on the back, I did see a Fei Long over the weekend somewhere, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I wanted to get the Shin Ryu, and then I'm hoping they do a Kuma. If they do a Kuma, I'm gonna pick that up because Akuma is my favorite Street Fighter character aside from Ryu. But
He's badass. He's badass.
yeah, Akuma's, man, he's a beast. If you played Third Strike, man, he's a beast for sure. Yeah, man. See, there you go. Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Yeah, we used to play it all the time on the SNES. Man, I love that game. That was a really good one.
Um, I played my uncle used to work in a place that made computer parts, and he had an Amstrad, and I I accidentally played the most homoerotic game ever because of my uncle, right? So he had the Amstrad, he had red heat on the Amstrad, right? And one of the levels is where you're in
The
the sauna and
the
you're
the, mo-
just yeah,
the movie Red Heat with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
yeah, there was a video game of it for the Amstrad. So you just play this buff, oily fucking beer chested Arnie. And in the background, there's just these fucking dudes. Just all fucking buff, dude. And you have to punch your way across. And I was like, what the fuck? And the music was chip tuned version of fucking the kind of Russian national anthem. Du, 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 du.
Wow, man, I'm gonna have
It
to
was
look that up.
fucking ridiculous. There was other ones as well where you'd like go you'd kind of go down a New York City street or an apartment hallway. It was basically Arnie from the waist up, and you moved left to right and you'd punch and you'd get a power up that'd let you use a handgun for 3 or 4 shots. And it's a shit game. It's a shit game. Honest to God, God, I'll see if I fucking, I'll see if I can
I gotta
find
look it
it.
up, man. I'm gonna have to look that up just to see gameplay footage of that on YouTube or something. If that's even around.
Hang on, give me a second. Hang on, Red Heat
Yeah,
video
Mello,
game.
that was a really good port. That Killer Instinct one, man. I played the heck out of that one. I got that one too. Did you get the CD with it? The Killer Cuts. I think I
I
still have that CD somewhere.
I never I got to play the original um in an arcade. I'm trying
Yeah,
to
I love
fucking
the
think.
arcade. Man, that's one of my favorites as well. Uh,
Oh my God, Larry. Okay, so I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but hopefully. So press play.
what? Man, you're gonna this is our first live stream. You're gonna get me canceled from all the oily men.
It's like, yeah,
That's nuts, man.
it was for the Amiga and the Amstrad.
Wow.
So, I fuck.
Super Ghouls and Ghosts, yeah, that was a good one too. Introduced me to Rage Quitting. Yeah, yeah, I believe it, man. I actually didn't really play that game too much because I played in the arcade, and yeah, even then, it stole a lot of quarters for me. It was, yeah, it's notoriously hard, man. Doesn't matter which port you play, that game is stupid hard.
You'd finish the game and it's like you have finished your training. Now is for the real challenge. You're like,
Yeah, I'm like,
what?
oh, seriously, man? Like, are you kidding me? I was like, once I passed it, see, I have the mini SNES console, the one that they re-released or whatever,
Mhm.
and I passed it there, and I was just like, okay, I passed it once, I'm fine with that, even though it still said, oh, try playing it again and get a real challenge. I'm like, no, man, I already passed it
A
once, I'm good.
fucking sadist developed that
Yeah,
fucking game, man.
yeah, Killer Instinct had great music, man. Still to this day, even with the 2013 one for the Xbox, the music is just incredible. Yeah, man, it's nuts. It's really really crazy, man. No, I guess beyond that, so what other like what got you more into? Was it like just going back to what we were talking about before with the Predator stuff? Was it the movies that just really sucked you into it, or
The movies and the comics. Um, like I got into comics through my friends and my cousin. Like after I got like properly into because I had issues with dyslexia. I learned I got to read and stuff, and one of my cousins I used to collect 2000 AD or Judge Dredd as you know it is,
Mhm.
and I got into that, and one summer they released Judge Dredd versus Aliens Incubus. And I was like, fuck, I gotta go out there and collect some fucking Aliens comics. And I got some of Chris Claremont's Aliens Predator Deadliest Species, which is a crazy fucking story. And I got some graphic novels as well. I picked up I think my first Alien versus Predator graphic novel I got was Predator Race War, which apparently is getting banned as well because it's a
Mm.
predator hunting in a maximum security prison, and there's gun violence, and Fox are worried about, or Disney are worried about gun violence in the comic because fucking it doesn't happen in real life. But
In a Predator comic of all
yeah,
things.
but that was my first graphic novel, and it kind of took off from there. I loved the lore, and I loved reading, um, obviously Randy Stradley and Phil Norwood and stuff. Their work on fucking Alien versus Predator, and yeah, just took off from there. And any games or novels or anything, I'd find anything Alien or Predator related, I'd pick it up.
Nice, man. Yeah, it's interesting. When I was younger, I was more of an Aliens fan, especially when Alien 3 came out. That was another one. My mom actually took me to see that in the theater, and I back then There was no internet, no anything. I didn't realize there was so much hate for it until I started getting older, and people were like, "Oh, Alien 3, that sucks." I'm like, "Really?"
No, it's
I didn't understand. I was just like, "I don't get it." I mean, when I saw it, I was blown away. I was like, "Man, it's basically prison, people hand to hand with a single alien,
Alien.
and they're trying to. I mean, it's primordial. You're trying to like kill this ultimate weapon. You know what I mean? And it's just they have no weapons to kill it, and they have to figure out how to kill it. I thought it was so good, and then I like the darkness of it. I like the grimness of it. Um, yeah,
Like
it's just
people bitched about what we got, but again, keep in mind this is a film with no set script, with no solid director, and it was like fucking. It was made every day. They weren't sure if the production would continue. I mean, people bitch, oh, it's prisoners in a prison. That would have been boring. Fucking Vincent Ward's story was going to take place on a wooden planet with monks. So,
but honestly, we'll get back to Monroy. Thanks for coming out, man. Thanks for hanging out with us and stuff. Have a good night and take it
see you
easy,
later,
brother.
dude.
I mean, honestly, man, like I heard about that story, that wooden planet story. I think the from what I've heard about it, it sounds interesting, and I don't know. To me, it sounds like wow, that's kind of I'd like to see that.
Oh yeah,
It
I
might.
would as well, but for being a science fiction fan, or feasibility wise, you're like, okay, that's going a bit more into the realm of fantasy that this spherical wooden cathedral is able to stand the pressures of deep space. Like,
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, again, it's
y-
it's plot. You know what I mean? Like it's
yeah,
just it's kind of. But no, I mean, I think it would have on paper, and I think it's fine that it went to as a because they went as a story, right? They didn't they do a graphic novel of that one?
they done, they they done, they did do a release of another version of Alien 3 by Christ, I'm after forgetting the guy's name.
Oh, it was Neil, the guy that
Not
wrote Necromancer, right?
Yeah. No, Vincent Ward, or no, the Vincent Ward done the Wooden Planet one. Yes, it's the guy who done Necromancer. His one is set on a space station
Hmm.
and is kind of Cold War kind of allegory. And the alien is kind of like the fucking tin in this version, in that it doesn't burst out of you as a chest burster. It literally melts itself into you and tears you off it. If you read the comic, bear with me 1 second. Bear with me one
Yeah,
second. Sorry, dude.
yeah, no problem, man, no problem. Yeah, Mello, I don't understand going back and watching it. I thinking about it back then. I never understood why I got so much hate. I really thought it was a good, solid film. Uh, the effects minus, yeah, a couple chroma key stuff, and then at the end with Bishop and stuff like that, that was really cool. But again, I like the more darker tone of it, the more somber tone of it. I thought that was really good. But yeah, I was actually surprised. Like again, uh, you know, my mom, man, she would take me to go see these movies, so I was lucky in that sense, you know. But yeah, I think I got pretty much everybody going back. I think I got everybody in the chat. I don't think I'm missing too much stuff.
William Gibson. Shit. Like,
William Gibson, there you go.
yeah, and it's again, they took some ideas as well and used them in some of Ridley Scott's prequel movies. Because hang on, I'll show you sure now. Up. Sorry. So in Covenant, remember the kind of the the spores. I don't know. Fuck it. You can see it there, but the spore opens up and lets out this kind of little puff of fucking smoke there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was recycled for Covenant,
Hmm.
and yeah, it's Hicks and Bishop are kind of the main characters in this, and it's set in a space station, and
That's
It's
one where Ripley's like in a coma, right, or
yeah,
something.
she's in a coma, and Newt and Ripley survive because Hicks is like they're told that they can't leave because of quarantine. Hicks like, no, I'm fucking putting Ripley in an escape pod, and Newt's getting out of here on the next fucking transport
Yeah, Mello, it was his directorial debut, and
debut.
the studios definitely they had a heavy hand in that, man. And they basically well, it's like I think I saw it on your video, right? Was it on your video where you were saying how was it on your video where he wanted to shoot that whole scene with the alien coming up on Ripley's face in part three,
Yeah,
and
I
they said no, but then he did it anyway, like without the studio knowing or something like
yeah,
that.
he had to go behind the back,
Hmm.
and he was given an assistant AD, and he was given a Fox liaison, and this person was supposed to answer to him, but they were actually spying on him and going back to the execs, and he just got fucking
Wow.
sick and tired of it. And it's
Yeah.
like it was because of his age, um, because again, it was his directorial debut. He had done stuff for like Madonna music videos,
Hmm.
and before that, he had worked in ILM. I think he'd done stuff for Return of the Jedi and a couple other kind of effects, kind of heavy stuff. So they weren't 100% sure on him, and it wasn't his fault either because I mean, they fucking they dropped a trailer a
Yeah.
year prior and put a
Hmm.
release date out, and even the trailer got the fucking release date wrong, or the trailer that had the early release date also got the plot wrong because it said
Yep.
on Earth,
Hmm.
everyone will hear you scream, and it's like it didn't fucking take place on Earth, like
No, we meant an Earth-like planet. That's what we meant.
Yeah, sure.
No, yeah. Several like yeah, that was different from the first two. I mean, yeah, if you look at the first one, I mean, and even now in hindsight, looking back, it's like very, and you can't really say very, well, it's very slasher. You know, it's like it's a slasher movie in
Hmm.
space, and it's very much industrial Blade Runner looking. Even though Blade Runner came after that. But yeah, it's totally different from Aliens, which Aliens just total ultimate badass. I mean, guns blazing. It had some good horror jump scares or horror elements to it, but I mean, it was all out action, man. It was really, really, and still, that's probably my favorite Alien film.
I
Alien.
do like and think they work as a trilogy because while
Hmm.
they are very different movies, all of them do feel they're set in the same universe where this fucking corporate overlord is running fucking spatial transport, the military and the penal system. It's not
Hmm.
like a government, it's a company. It's company.
Hmm.
Everything was like company dime, like rather than closing down the smelting plant, they were like, hey, we got these fucking convicts that aren't going anywhere. Let's get them to rule it. And one thing that people get pissed off with, and I can understand as well, is I'm going to do a bit of headcanon here. People don't like the fact that the tech in the prequels in Covenant and in Prometheus is so advanced, and then later movies. My reasoning is okay, if you're a corporation and you lost two highly advanced, top of the line fucking flagships, you lost them out in space, looking for this thing. You're going like, yeah, do you know what? Let's send that fucking tow truck out to have a look next time instead of the Ferrari. That's the way again, it was the company thinking, okay, we may find something, we may find nothing. If there's a chance, let's send something that isn't so fucking expensive and
Yeah,
expendable.
exactly. Or I mean, am I just to explain it? It's just losing all that stuff lost you a lot of money.
Yeah, so that's why you would exactly. You don't want to fucking jeopardize these advanced fucking vehicles.
Yeah, exactly. Sean, man, thanks for stopping by, man. Really appreciate it. And if y'all head over to Sean Cinephile Sanity to go check out his Running Man live stream tonight, his watch along. After we're done here, I'll definitely be heading over there to say hi to the chat and hang out for a while. So, everybody in the chat right now, definitely check out Sean's channel and definitely check out his Running Man stream tonight. I'm sure it's gonna be a lot of fun, like most of his streams are. So, thanks again, Sean, for stopping by, man. Really appreciate it, brother. No, that was my. I mean, it's the same with. I mean, the same could be said about Star Wars. Look at the
Yeah.
prequels. Everything's like nice and shiny and everything, and then the original trilogy is so like it
A
looks like
used
it's
future. That's the term Scott came
right
up with.
there. You go.
And yeah, again, you could say, well, after the Empire, like, unless unless you were on the fucking Imperial side, you had to work with shit. You had to
Hmm.
fucking. It was like, fucking. It was like, guerrillas in a fucking in a kind of Ecuadorian country using weapons from World War II to fight the regular fucking
Hmm.
army. You'd have to use whatever you could get your hands on.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like you're piecing your rebellion together too, which was makes sense. So I thought that part of it, but I know exactly what people are saying, like why is it so advanced and stuff like that. I mean, well, it's like two reasons: plot, you
What?
know, and I mean, it's just you got to think like back then it was like the company was thriving. It was
Yeah.
probably at its because really, if you think about it, from Aliens and Alien 3, I mean, heck, even in Resurrection, they're like this company is trying to use this.
Okay. I don't like Red. I have issues with Resurrection, but it kind of galvanizing your point. What they said about Will and Yutani in Resurrection, as like being bought out by Walmart. Oh, like fucking just say some other company. Don't say fucking Walmart. It's like,
No, well, that's what I'm saying, man. It's just I feel like for the new I guess the original trilogy, and like we won't put I guess we won't put Resurrection in there because yeah, it's not a good movie. It's fun. I saw it in the theater, so I have some nostalgia for it. It is kind of fun, but it's absolutely ridiculous. But the first three, if you think about it, it's kind of like you can kind of see it's like, well, they're trying to get this organism for their bioweapons, so it almost kind of gives you that they need something new to like for cash flow
yeah,
for a
yeah,
new
yeah. It's
revenue
like,
stream.
well, we we
You know?
we flushed so much money in trying to acquire this thing, and we can't put the other things you could look at, right? Because I don't know if do you have a copy of the Colonial Marines handbook, the
I don't.
our schema? So our average detachment is supposed to be um 24 units, excluding the synthetic and the commanding officer. But like, how many Hicks, Apone, we'll say 12, we'll round it up to 12. They didn't even have enough money to have a full Marine detachment sent out.
Well, no, I mean, because I think it's only Apone and Gorman. Those are the top
Mhm.
two. And then once Apone was gone and Gorman was, out when he was like unconscious, it went to Hicks, Corporal Hicks.
Oh yeah, no, no. But what I'm saying is, like, backing up your point, is that like, reading the Colonial Marines technical manual. That's
Mm.
what it's called. A unit is supposed to be made up of 24 individual soldiers, commanding officer, and a synthetic. There was not 24. It was like 12, maybe.
Yeah, there was like half a unit or half a
Half a unit. So
battalion.
again, the company was cutting corners.
Yeah, of course. I mean, because at the same time, too, if you think about it, like even they were like, "Oh, it's just we're going to make sure that people are okay." They weren't really.
They
They
weren't
weren't.
expecting to
Yeah,
have to fight. Yeah.
and several are saying thoughts on Prometheus. I Marty, you want to start with that?
Prometheus is like going out on a date with a really sexy looking French woman, but you've no idea what she's fucking saying. She could be cursing your name. She'd be calling you a bastard. She could even be fucking using your fucking credit card information to buy herself a fucking Lamborghini, and you wouldn't even fucking know it. Nice to look at. Doesn't really make sense.
That's an interesting way to put it, man. I honestly, when I saw that one in the theater, I liked it. I liked it a lot. It was
There's
beautiful.
elements I do like.
It made me want to go back and watch the original Alien. So for me, and it's just my opinion, if I watch a movie that actually makes me want to go back and see the original, I'm like, I call that a good movie.
Yeah,
For me,
it's
that's like, wow, it caught my interest to want to go back and see, because I mean, they had been saying it's like a prequel to Alien and stuff like that, and so it kind of made it.
Scott leapfrogged it. Oh, it's a prequel to Alien. Actually, it's not a prequel to Alien. It's set in the same universe.
Yeah,
Fucking make up your mind.
yeah, exactly. And then, but no, me, I thought it was. I love it. Shot beautifully. I really dug it. I once I started reading into it, I'm like, okay, it's in the Alien universe, but it's not technically a prequel. You just kind of you see some space jockeys and stuff like that, and then so I was like, okay, that's fine. And I like the deacon at the end. I thought that was kind of cool. We see a different sort of xenomorph. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I know people were mad that we didn't get any xenomorphs, and then and and then Covenant came, and it's just like, oh my god,
I
there was some interesting stuff there, but I mean, like,
I'm kind of the same. I Covenant and Prometheus. I'm kind of the same with. There's some really good ideas. One thing I noticed is the deleted or alternate scenes in Prometheus. There's stuff that should have been left in. I think it would have helped the audience. And I definitely fucking preferred the alternate Fifield creature. Have you seen the alternate attack scene with Fifield?
uh,
I'm not a CG fan. I'm always for practical effects. But this fucking version of Fifield looked badass. And obviously, I wasn't the only one to think this, because they used the design from that deleted scene in Aliens Fireteam Elite. I don't know if you've played that.
oh yeah, I played that. That's really good. I
You
haven't finished
know
it, but
where you're going onto the jockey ship?
uh, trying to
This
remember.
after okay, so you go, basically there's one of the juggernauts. Um fucking
I
the
got to the ruins, the where you see the
oh
like. I got
yeah,
to that.
you're have you played any more of it?
I haven't because I don't have Game Pass anymore.
Shit. Um
But yeah, I
do you
was
want me
playing. I mean, that game was like what I've played. That game is awesome, and I know they were doing like the pathogen, like
Yeah, that game for me actually bolstered Covenant and Prometheus in my eyes.
nice.
The second mission you go on to um the ship that's underneath the ruins, and you have to stop it because fucking the AI you have to shut down is sending it to Earth with the pathogen, and all the fucking crew, all the research crew were exposed to that, and they all look like Fifield in the deleted scene, not the kind
Oh,
of weird
nice.
fucking kind of punk monster.
Yeah, the
They
big head.
yeah, they look more like the elongated thing from the
Mhm.
deleted scene, and they're fucking cool. And yeah, again, that game kind of made me appreciate Covenant and Alien a bit more.
You you can definitely tell they put a lot of love into that game for sure.
Oh yeah, they
I
reference
mean,
comics and they reference fucking Aliens Defiance with Alpha and Beta. They're the
yeah,
fucking synthetics from Aliens Defiance.
yeah, that's a good point, Professor. The tech god for Star Wars, the tech god shooter got funding for two Death Stars, and
Yeah, sure. There was a corner missing off the fucking thing when they
yeah,
blew it up the second time. Ah, it's grand. There's a bit of draft. There's a bit of a
yeah,
draft,
that's
but
all
it'll be
right.
grand.
We have a shield around it. It's all good. Yes, Prometheus was sick. I thought, but I can understand why someone like it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, no,
Uh,
no, no. And I talked to Jen about this. If you like a movie, don't let anyone else tell you that you're fucking stupid for liking a movie.
hey
They don't
man,
like the movie. Grand, fuck off. Grand, enjoy your life.
hey man, I like Biodome. You know, people would. I saw it
You're
like
a
eight.
fucking monster. You're a mon-
I saw it. I saw it 8 times. I saw it 8 times in the theater, man. Me and a buddy of mine. We went to go see it 8 times in the theater. I don't care what anybody says. I love that movie.
um, have you seen Pauly Shore's new fucking thing? Jen sent let me think. He's playing Simmons, Richard Simmons.
Yeah, without Richard Simmons' permission. Yeah,
How's that gonna
yeah.
fuck
Well, he came out recently. I think it was like this past week. This past week or last week, he said that he didn't
endorse?
endorse it. He stole the show in that one. Yeah, Fassbender was great.
He was cool.
I just didn't like the whole like he created the xenomorph like
Yeah,
eh,
that again, it's like I don't know. I said this in my review, my initial review. So the fucking alien, the xenomorph, the most deadly fucking being in the universe, is a creation of a man-made creation.
mhm,
Now I know their Dark Horse done a series going across Alien versus Predator and Prometheus called Fire and Stone, and they kind of set up the fact that David actually just extrapolated blueprints that were already there, and it's I have you got Ahab? Have you the Ahab Predator from that comic?
no, not yet. I've been wanting to pick him up, but I haven't been able to find him at a decent price. Mr. Dan, how's it going? Thanks for stopping by.
Hey, Mr. Dan.
Yeah, I definitely I that's one I've been wanting to get. Um, but yeah, I haven't been able to get that one. It would be nice if I could find it at a decent price.
I pinched his engineer rifle and put it with my engineer.
What
Uh,
makes I mean, looking at his rifle, it would make sense.
yeah,
It would definitely make sense. And I almost last summer, man, I was at a convention, and I thought I'm kicking myself for not picking up the 2 pack of the engineer and that creature from Prometheus.
yeah. I trilobite. I have it. I have it there. I got it back in the day. I think I got it for $40.
Man, this guy was selling it for $40. Like
You should
I
have picked
saw,
it up. Shit,
I
man. You
know,
should have picked
man.
it up.
I should have. That's why. But then I saw the Diamond Select creature from the Black Lagoon, and I was like, it's a no. I was like, it was on a Friday. I picked it up. I'm like, you know what? No, I'm taking the creature for sure. And then I got all my autographs and stuff I needed to sign. So when I went back Saturday, it was gone. I was like, I should have grabbed it, man. I should have just grabbed both of them at the same time. But yeah, I'm kicking myself because now like what I've seen, what it's worth outside of that, man, it's crazy.
Hmm.
It's nuts. Getting ready to clock out for work and head home. So I must. All right. Thanks for stopping by, Professor Man.
Thank you, Professor.
So much. Thanks for stopping by. Um, have a good night, man, and be safe getting home. Let's see. Base card with Prometheus, though. Charlize Theron's character did not run to the side from being crushed.
Serpentine, serpentine. What annoyed me
Zigzag.
was they seemed to drop the fucking because Scott had said in the making of that the movie was going to feature two synthetics, and they kind of dropped the subplot that she was supposed to be synthetic as well, which it still kind of works because one, um, like fucking, you have Peter Wayland who says you're my daughter, but like he's
Mhm,
fucking ancient. He's like 100 and something in
mhm.
that movie, and she's like so. I suppose he's rich. Someone would fuck a 70-year-old or an 80-year-old for money. Um, but
And
like,
Nicole Smith, man.
and
Just saying.
and the other thing as well, like Janik asks her straight out, "Are you synthetic?" She doesn't say yes or no, and she's like, "My bunk, fucking 6
Hmm.
o'clock, just fucks him to avoid the Do
Yeah,
you think that there was still plausibility that she could have been a synthetic?
well, the interesting thing is, have you heard of this other YouTuber, Alien Theory?
Yeah, yeah,
So I didn't know this, but if you there was apparently when I guess it was when Covenant was either coming out, if you went to the website, it had a thing where you could ask it questions, and then somebody asked if she was a synthetic, or no, somebody had asked if she was when she was born or something, and the date was like all weird. So there's like a theory. That's another theory that going to what you said that she was like modeled after like maybe a younger daughter or something that
yeah.
had passed away. So that was pretty interesting. I mean, this
There's
is
a
the
couple of things as well. Because do you remember when David's communicating via his fucking Oculus Rift with fucking Wayland,
yeah.
and she's like, "What did he say?" And he won't fucking tell her, and she
Mhm.
pins him. She fucking pins David to the fucking side of the corridor wall, and it's like, okay, I know whatever kind of generation he's not the same as Ash and stuff, but like he didn't fight back or anything like that. But still, I think it would be difficult to pin a synthetic to the wall unless you're a synthetic yourself. That's
Yeah. Yeah, it could be that, or it could be that, given that quote unquote she's the daughter of Waylon, that he's kind of letting it happen.
yeah, he can't. My head canon, I still think she's a synthetic because
It would make sense. I mean, given like yeah, his age and stuff like that, and I mean, but then again, you could say like she's been cryogenically
yeah,
sleeping for so
I
long. I guess I don't know. I mean,
like my kids that makes me think she is age. Okay, you can dispute that. When she gets up from the cryo tube, everyone else is like absolutely fucking bollocks. They're having a hangover, and she's doing fucking push-ups. And do you remember when Ash came out of cryo and he had to fucking, because he was a machine, he had to fucking run on the spot while no
mhm,
one was looking to fucking make sure, because again, he's a machine, he has to make sure the servos and stuff are working.
mhm.
Maybe that's what she was doing. Pinning David, and just a few things I think makes me think she was a synthetic.
No, no, for sure, man. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of evidence to support that,
Mm.
and yeah, I think it goes back to that age old Blade Runner question: was Deckard a replicant or not? I like that there's that ambiguity.
Yeah.
Um, I think he's not a replicant, just like Charlize. I'd like to think she's not a synthetic, but I think if she was to be revealed as a synthetic, it wouldn't affect the story as much as
Mm.
Deckard being a replicant would mess up that whole thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does. What did you think of the last Blade Runner movie? Were you happy with
I
it?
I love it. I love it. I mean, I it just I like that they left that question ambiguous. I can watch that movie over and over again. The same with the original Blade Runner. The original Blade Runner, man, it's a friggin' masterpiece for sure.
Is there any
Um,
particular cut you go with?
so that's the hard thing because when I was a kid, I saw it, and I'm assuming I saw the theatrical cut when I was young, but I was too young to remember it because, for one, I was a Star Wars kid. So for me, it was like I was bored. So I didn't really pay it much mind. It's not until later, as I got older, then I started, getting really into it. And, really, I started getting into it when 2049 was coming out. So it was coming out, and I was like, okay, well, let me go back and rewatch it. But the only thing that I could find was the final cut. And I saw the final cut, and I was like, man, this movie's absolutely amazing. Like, why? How did I miss out on this? Such a masterpiece of like sci-fi. And then I saw 2049. I was like, me. At the time, my wife and I were dating. So when we went to go see it, it was only us two and maybe like one other person in the theater, and I didn't care, man. I was floored by it. I love it's beautifully shot. Um, just the way the world like kind of decayed like a little bit more. Because for me, it's all about that. When I watch the Blade Runner films, I'm more of like I want to see. It
The
makes me
world.
think. Yeah, I want to see the world, and I want to see what's going on outside of Los Angeles. So when you see the other scenes where Kay is going to the other areas, like he goes to Vegas, he goes to that other like trashy area where
Yeah.
he goes to find the kid. All that really caught it sucked me into the world, and that's why, you know. And it's funny, like me and my wife have had conversations about like what they should do for a sequel and all this stuff, and even the shorts that they did for after that I thought were really cool. I will say this: 2049 actually made me a Batista fan
Yeah.
because I felt like his character is so minute. He, I mean, he killed it as as
You know that opening was originally meant for the first Blade Runner movie, because if you watch the documentary Dangerous Days, one of the writers is explaining that there's a replicant working on a farm, and he comes in to make soup, and
Mhm,
Deckard's there waiting for him, and your man's just stirring the soup, and it's like that. And when I watched 2049, I'm like, that's the scene that was originally supposed to be in it. Now, granted, I don't think it wasn't a farm or anything, but I did like the fight between him and Batista, and you're kind of like, especially when you watch the shorts as well, because
mhm,
Batista's character protects a mother and daughter from a gang or something.
mhm.
It's been a while since I've seen it, and they're like, do I really want to be rooting for Kay? Because this fucking dude is just trying to fucking. I like the original replicants, but the the original replicants, you do feel sorry for them, but
Mhm.
there is a danger there. There is a fucking malvoyance. Whereas you could have probably left Batista alone and he wouldn't have attacked anyone or done anything. He would have just kept to himself.
Well, I mean, I feel like towards the end of and going to man, we've been going on for a while now, almost 2 hours. um, but no, for I guess for me, I feel like all the other replicants in the first one, minus Roy Batty, I feel like Roy Batty was the one that was like oddly enough the most level-headed and kind of
Mhm.
like I feel like they were only doing what they were doing because they knew they were going to die like in 4 years. Whereas if you look at Batista's model of replicant, I mean, clearly he was over the 4 years,
Yeah.
right? So I mean, he had gotten to a point where he was just living his life. The same with Kay. Kay was just kind of like cog in the machine. He was just, so they had a chance to kind of like be just live, you know what I mean? And you kind of sympathize for Batista's character because he's just trying to be a farmer. He was a combat medic before, but then he was just trying to be a protein farmer.
Yeah.
So when he
I
goes, yeah, you definitely feel for him because he's really just trying to live
survive,
and
not be murdered.
yeah, and as well as keep the secret of like Rachel and
Rachel's baby.
Deckard's
Yeah.
kid. Yeah. See,
Um.
and that's why I think if Deckard were a replicant, it would take away that it wouldn't be so special, in my opinion.
You are right, but I do like the ambiguity of it as well, because
Right.
it keeps the audience on its toes.
Yeah. I would say, yeah. So we're like definitely need to check them out again. They're really good films. So actually more of a fan. Yeah, I used to watch it. I actually liked Escape from New York a lot more when I was a kid too. Oddly enough, than Blade Runner. It's funny because as I've gotten older, for Carpenter films like Escape from New York, this might be blasphemous. It's not as high on my Carpenter list as it
It
used to
it
be.
it 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 hasn't aged as well as these other movies. I definitely don't think,
Mhm,
like, some of the kind of the matte paintings are cool, but some of them you can tell are matte paintings, and some of the kind of grid work on the sea, because they didn't have obvious advanced computers. So what they did was they made models of New York, painted them black, and just put in glow in the dark tape around the corners, turned out the lights, and just
mhm,
recorded it so it looked like a computer kind of readout, 3D
mhm.
computer readout.
Well, they did something similar with Tron, right? Where they had
Yeah,
like the suits were just like white and black, and they shot them in black and white, and they just kind of put like there was like a reflective something or another on their
Yeah.
suits, if I'm remembering correctly. Um, but yeah, man, I mean, yeah, see, this is what I was telling you when we were getting on here. We can just now we're on like Blade Runner and stuff like that. So it's like we went from like figures to cartoons and yeah.
I like that. Like I again, I like shooting shit like this, man. I have fun. I have fun doing it. And I hope I'm not keeping you if you're like, will this fucker ever shut
What
up
do you,
and let me get
dude?
up my
What are
dinner?
you talking about, man? I'm keeping you because it's like when you got on, it was like past 12 on your time.
It's 1:30 now, and
Oh
I'm in a
God,
fucking rhythm, so don't worry about it.
no, man. No, we'll wrap it up here in another like 5-10 minutes and stuff.
No,
Definitely.
whenever. It's your fucking stream. It's your
Oh man,
stream.
well, no, I don't want to keep you and stuff like
No,
that. So
I'll have to ring herself before I go to bed. So I won't be asleep right away. Don't worry about it.
yeah, Mello. From all the wrestlers that have become actors, yeah, I definitely agree. Batista's probably the one that I'm like, I actually respect as an actor. I know
He's
he turned down the Fast and the Furious, like whatever it is, because he wanted to do like legit stuff. So when I read that, I was like, wow, that's really cool. I really respect that.
he's brilliant as Drax, and I love him. And oh, the Knives Out sequel. What the fuck?
Oh yeah, yeah. Glass Onion.
Yeah, he's great in that.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Have you seen Hotel Artemis?
Yes, I
He's
forgot he
really
was in
good
that.
in that.
I forgot he's brilliant. He's like, see this? This is medical certified practitioner, which means I can unheal the living shit out of you. I love that as a nurse.
Yeah, he was good in that. Yeah, Cabin in the Woods. I haven't seen that one yet. I need to. I did want to watch that one because of him. Like I said, he came to a convention. I haven't been to a comic convention in a while, but he came to one locally, and I was like, man, I want to meet him just because of Blade Runner. Like I wanted to talk to him about that. Because I would love to pick his brain about like a few things on that and stuff. But Cabin in the Woods, I want to see it because I actually wanted to see it because of him. So I just need to get around to watching it. Man says it's an okay movie, not the best. I've heard some stuff about it, but I haven't tried. I've tried not to look too much into it since it's.
Jen prefers the book to the movie.
Hmm. So I hasn't seen it. Glass Onion was fun. Yep, it was definitely fun. I like that one. It's kind of. I feel like it's kind of poking fun at Hollywood and Elon, possibly.
Yeah.
At least that's what I got from it. Smart move to turn down that garbage. Yeah. Again, I feel like what you're signing up for those. It's like it's almost like when you sign up for Marvel stuff, they're gonna like that's it. You're kind of
The thing is, because the fucking the Fast and Furious movie, they've almost surpassed Marvel in fucking ridiculousness. I mean, like lads go strapping rockets, going into space on fucking cars. But this movie started off as a Point Break-esque heist movie, and
right.
now it's turned into a sci-fi fucking thriller with a spin-off where Idris Elba was a super soldier. It's like,
I'm waiting for them to go to space, man.
fucking Jesus.
I'm waiting for them to like drive cars in space, you know. And Marty, look. Speaking of,
Hello. Hey, gorgeous.
thanks for stopping by, Jen.
Jen doesn't like anything unless it's like really depressing. So like,
Yeah, it's fine. Like I said,
isn't that right, babe?
that's why I liked Alien 3. And I really love Grave of the Fireflies. That anime is absolutely incredible. Could only get through it once.
That fucking broke me. That fucking
It's
broke
rough,
me.
man. Yeah, Mellow. Yeah, Cena's too niche, man. Like,
No,
he's
okay. Have you seen Peacemaker? He's actually brilliant in Peacemaker.
yeah. So like I think I had mentioned this too. I've seen like some of the season. I haven't finished it yet, and yeah, he's great as Peacemaker. I just feel like he's too like I don't know. He's definitely more dimensional than The Rock. The
Yeah,
Rock is the same character every
every
movie.
fucking thing.
It's like Vin Diesel, same character in every movie. his older stuff, Vin Diesel's older stuff. You know, like if I don't know if you've seen Boiler Room. He's that's probably like my favorite role of Vin Diesel is Boiler Room. Really
Pitch
good
Black.
movie.
I loved him in Pitch Black.
Well, Pitch Black is like that's a Vin Diesel like that's well actually honestly that's what it's more Riddick where he's more of like that's a Vin Diesel
Mm.
animal. Pitch Black is kind of where he he broke out. But
Yeah.
but if you watch a Boiler Room, it's sort of like a it's an ensemble cast and it's a low budget
Isn't Ben
Miramax film.
Affleck in that and Giovanni
Yep.
Rasby?
hmm
Yeah.
That one's really good. It's basically like an older version of Wolf of Wall Street, essentially, because it's based off of the same book, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Prefers the book. M. Night. He did knock. Yeah, he did knock at the door, knock at the cabin. Yeah, Shama Mamelon. Everybody saying hi. It's on my list to see now. Yeah, I definitely want to see it for sure. But I'm not running out to run it to go, see it out and stuff like that. Marty Peacemaker was great. He flexed his acting chops a lot more in that series, but I wish he'd expand into other stuff. Yeah, I wish he would do more serious stuff,
Mm.
like more like not just like slapsticky. And that's why like Guardians 2, Guardians Volume 2, that's why I really didn't like it because Drax became all stand up. Like it was just, he was comic relief for the whole movie. I mean, in the first one, his like seriousness and like stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, there's some parts like when Mantis like touches his shoulder and she feels like his what he's really like feeling. I thought that was like wow, that's really legit. But for the most part,
I'm not going to blame Batista for that. I call that the fucking Joss Whedon effect because I
no,
think
yeah, for
every
sure.
character, every fucking Thor Ragnarok, they turned Thor into this big goofy fucking himbo. Like
It was worse than Love and Thunder. Ragnarok, I actually really enjoyed. But man,
no,
Love and
no,
Thunder.
I love Ragnarok, but you could definitely see. And it's bled into other properties as well. You could definitely. Can we just get on with the plot? Stop making quips.
Yeah,
Why are you making
exactly.
quips? Please, sir, don't cut my hair. Oh, I do like the. Do you know what? I'll let him off with the. I know him from work because there was a kid who from a Make a Wish thing, I
Mhm,
think, who was like, he's like, oh, you should say you know that guy from work, and Hemsworth liked it and used it.
mhm,
I let him off with that, but some of the like, oh, and look, he turned into a snake and scared me and went and like it's like, it's come
yeah.
on, you turned him into a big goofy. And again, it's not him. Hemsworth is funny.
mhm.
It's not Hemsworth's fault. It's just I think what I call the Whedon effect, all this quirky kind of fucking, yeah, which I do like. It worked in stuff like Buffy and it worked in stuff like Firefly. But when you're trying to do a story that has a lot of engagement, I just think that becomes an obstacle.
Well, it's because of the original Guardians of the Galaxy too, man. I mean, once James Gunn took off, everybody was like, "Oh, we need to throw humor in it and all these quips." Hey, Horror Factory, thanks for stopping by, man.
That
Um,
fucking ruined Willow. I was so excited for the Willow fucking TV show.
I haven't seen it, man. I've heard so many bad things. I was like, it ruined it for me because I love the original movie, the Willow film, and I was really hyped up for it. And then, oh, and that's the other thing. Warwick Davis is coming to Texas Frightmare this year, so I'm hoping to meet him.
I I just like fucking the characters were good, but every couple of minutes they were
Yeah,
like fucking cracking jokes or
yeah,
like
man. Like
quipping, and I'm like,
it's a new
no,
formula, man. It's like it's a new formula. Love and Thunder was terrible. Yes, definitely. Yeah, Bale was man. I feel like they wasted Bale in that film,
yeah, he was like, you have Christian Bale, you've one of the best Batmans. What fucking
and he
Jesus
was and what in watching that movie, he was the best thing about it for me.
Christ.
I just feel he was wasted. Like he should have been a villain somewhere else. I don't know. I'm like, man, I can't just. I don't know that movie. And then even with Guardians 2, I was like, ah. I did like the Guardians holiday special though. I thought that was really really
That
cool.
was kidnapping Kevin Bacon.
That was pretty
That was
fun.
cool.
As far as acting, the Rock is playing checkers. That's a good way to put it, man. I like that. Batista's playing chess. Um, yeah, we're like, yeah, man. Christian Bale was awesome in that film, man, for sure. But
Um, I got a question for you because we're coming up on the 2 hour mark.
mhm.
Is there any figure you're looking forward to, no matter how far down the line you want to get?
One that's been announced or one that I want to get for my collection.
One that has been announced that you want to get for your collection.
The one that's been announced that I want to get for my collection, I do have it. I do have it pre-ordered as well. Um, well, no, it's this one for sure. The London After Midnight. The
Oh, what company?
NECA. NECA's doing London After Midnight.
Like, that's a Lost movie, right? That's a Lost fucking Universal horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
I
the
would I would love to fucking that's one movie I'd love to see because it's more of a fucking proto superhero movie. If you know the plot, it's more of a fucking vigilante where a cop dresses up as a vampire to scare off fucking criminals. You know that's the plot, right?
yeah. That's man. I that's the one movie I've seen photos of it and I want to see it, man. It's just the fact that it's lost and it's just I don't know, man. I definitely want to see it.
It'll probably turn up in a fucking salt mine in fucking Czechoslovakia, like fucking parts of fucking Event Horizon.
Yeah. All right, Mellow Man, take it easy. Thanks for stopping by, man. Have a good night and enjoy the TED series. I need to check that out too, man. I've heard that they did a series of that. Hopefully it's good like the movies. But thanks again, man, for stopping by. Dude. It was a lot of fun. Batista's way better than actor than Rock. Yeah, for sure, for sure. What about you, Marty? What about you for figures?
I'm trying to find it. Essentially, and I can't find a decent fucking picture. Maybe, hang on, open image. Sorry about this, dude.
Oh, no problem.
Turn sideways. Yeah, I again. Oh shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that looks cool.
favorite Catwoman, and I I do think it's kind of shitty because McFarlane keeps on saying, "Oh, I don't make as many female figures because they don't sell." So he's like he didn't make. They made the whole fucking Dark Knight trilogy's Rogues Gallery, but not Catwoman. And
Yeah.
now, if you want to get Catwoman, you want to get the Batpod. Batpod is cool, but I think there should have been the option just to get her on her fucking own.
hmm Yeah, that would have been pretty cool.
Mm.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same. Sorry, man. I mean, for me, best Catwoman for me is Pfeiffer. I mean, I just love Batman
Oh yeah,
Returns.
like each to their own. Um, I think I like even fucking Halle Berry's Catwoman. For all her flaws, there is a fan base out there for, like,
Is there?
there fucking is.
Wow.
There is. Terrible fucking movie though.
Yeah. I'm trying to decide which is worse, Double Dragon or Halle Berry's Catwoman. But yeah, man.
Fucking
Most
double drag. Isn't that where fucking Robert Patrick
yeah, the
splits
T1000
into
is
two ninjas
yeah.
and like and Bobo? Don't they fucking
Or
yeah?
feeding him like
Bobo's in it.
spinach. He looks
Yeah.
ridiculous. Like the movie's horrible, man.
I know all the gangs. There's even fucking kamikaze postman.
Yeah.
Geronimo.
I
I remember renting that, and it was like one of the times when you're a kid because back then, if you rented a movie, you were like, ah, fuck it, you weren't too selective because it was like, yeah, you get to rent a movie, and then that was the movie that made me go, okay, I got to be a lot more scrupulous with my choice You
Hey,
know,
man, I saw that in the theater, and even back then as a kid
wait,
seeing
hold
it in
on. That got a fucking. I did not know it got a theatrical release.
it did, and even back then as a kid, I was like, "What the hell did I just watch? I can't believe I just wasted my brain cells and my mom's money on this movie." And ever since then, I've only watched it twice in that theater, and ever since then, I've cursed its name
Mhm.
throughout my life. I saw it on Tubi, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I've been too critical of it because I never hear anybody talk bad about it. And I saw it again, and I'm like, yeah, this is horrible. So now it's my mission to tell everybody that Double Dragon is a horrible movie. See, Severlight knows what I'm talking about.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what, babe, babe. Dedicating. We're dedicating a trash fire for Larry here. We're going to review. We're going to review Double Dragon at some stage.
Oh man, it's bad.
Well,
It's
when's the
bad.
Chinese New Year? When's the Chinese New Year? We'll fucking review it.
Nah, man, I hate that movie so much, so bad. Uh, I mean, and when you watch it, man, it's just I God, people would talk so much smack about Mario Brothers, um, Street Fighter, and even Mortal Kombat Annihilation. No, man, this is by far the worst. Like
I I
video
remember
game, everything. I hate that movie.
one of the actresses was in General Hospital, and she's like attacking fucking Alyssa Milano with the whip. She goes, "I'm gonna put you in
Oh
General
yeah.
Hospital." It's like, who, who thought that was a good idea?
They're like, "Oh, you're in general how." She probably like ad libbed it, and they're like, "Oh yeah, just keep it in. We don't care. We're gonna get all these like kids money anyway." I mean, there's so much stuff, man. This just ah, you get man. I don't want to say anything because I want you to waste your time watching it. I want you to ruin your brain cells watching that movie. But
I've
it's
I've
horrible.
watched it before. I'll watch it again. I just want to get Jen's fucking opinion, because if I can find a movie to make Jen mad, that's the best. The last time I got a movie that broke Jen was Night Beast. She fucking hated Night Beast.
See, Double Dragon's worse than that,
Yeah, it is,
in my
Jen.
opinion.
We're watching Double Dragon. It's worse than Night Beast, babe. She's like probably screaming into the laptop now.
I
No, damn
there's
it,
a lot.
Larry.
I mean, several lights laughing. So I mean, obviously, he knows what I'm talking about, man. So he knows it's horrible. Street Fighter needs a reboot. Yeah, after all the bad, sequels or spin-offs to it, yeah, Street Fighter would be pretty good. I mean, I did like the reboot Mortal Kombat, but that's just
I
me.
I know I thought it was good as well. I watched Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun Li, and I'm like,
Yeah,
what the fuck has this got to do with Street Fighter?
yeah, exactly, man. Horrible. And yeah, reboot of He-Man. Yeah, bring Dolph back, man. I don't care. I love that movie too. I don't care what anybody says. So, Masters of the Universe. That's another one with Dolph. I liked it too, man.
I Okay, right. So this is an opinion I have. Yeah, babe. Yeah. Uh, she's having night beast PTSD. Um, what do you think of the Netflix Masters Universe Revelation?
Never saw it.
Revolution. Don't like it?
Never saw it. Out of all what I heard from it, I was like, it's probably not something I'm going to be into.
I liked it. I can understand why people would have an issue with it, because He-Man like is only in the start and the end. But it's interesting. You get to see different parts of like fucking Eternian society and like the afterlife in Eternia, both heaven and hell, and a great voice cast. Like fucking Mark Hamill as Skeletor, Tony Todd as Scareglow, Stephen Root as Cringer, Sarah Michelle Gellar as Tila, fucking Liam Cunningham from Game of Thrones as Man at
Um,
Arms, Lena Headley from Game of Thrones as Evelyn. Fucking Danny Trejo as Ram Man. I could fucking go on for ages. And they
Wow,
include characters from the 87 Dolph Lundgren movie as well.
interesting. So like Blade and
Pig Boy. Blade and
oh
Pig Boy
wow.
turn up.
We know Pig Boy was a winner, right? He
Yeah,
didn't wasn't he
contestant.
like a contestant that won like an on screen role or something like that? That was
Linge-
interesting.
yeah, Lingella done the movie for his kid, and he
Hmm.
got a private screening, and the kid fell asleep, and Lingella was just so proud of his performance.
Hey man, I mean he man, aside from Dolph, I think Dolph was probably the to me, he was He-Man.
You man. Oh,
I mean, and then Langella as Skeletor, man, that was he did a phenomenal role. It's like Raul Julia in Street Fighter.
Street
He
Fight. Yeah, again, you get these fucking kind of actors who are used to doing stage performances, and they give it their all, and it's like, lads, you're in fucking Street Fighter and stuff, like, you know. Jen's trying to provoke me because she knows her question is going to make me mad. Because there's
that's funny.
someone in that I can't fucking stand. Uh,
See, Russell, how's it going? Thanks for stopping by, man. We're already getting ready to call it a night, I think. But yeah, man, is there anything you want to plug or anything coming up for you?
I have a figure review of this guy. Myself and Jen are going possibly because there's stuff going on, but we're possibly doing a watch along of a Trash Fire Butt Boy tomorrow and Sunday horror hangouts. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that. I think Dice Rolling is having a quiz as well. I gotta see because I got invited to like 4 or 5 fucking things tomorrow,
Oh,
and I'm
nice.
gonna try and fucking squeeze them all in.
And then I just shared your YouTube channel in the chat, so definitely, guys, check out Marty's channel, and if you haven't already, and definitely subscribe as well. Yeah, I saw the trailer for that new Roadhouse. I'm definitely interested. It can't be. It looks a lot better than Roadhouse 2 with Gary Busey or Jake Busey, as the main villain, which didn't make sense to me. But yeah, definitely looking forward to checking that out. It's a bummer that it's going straight to streaming, but at the same time, it's kind of more easy for me to just watch it. Um,
I'm not gonna watch it.
really?
I can't watch it. There's someone in it I fucking hate.
Oh, that's right. You were just talking about that. Yeah,
I can't stand Conor McGregor. Honest to God,
yeah. I can't really stand him either, man.
he's a disgrace to this fucking country. Oh Jesus Christ! And everyone loves him. Like fuck off.
I don't love him.
Thank you,
Like
thank you.
it. I mean, I was every fight that he's been in. Like I'm waiting for somebody to like beat the shit out of him. And when he lost that fake fight to Floyd Mayweather, I was just like, it's like whatever, man. I hate Mayweather too, so I was hoping at least McGregor would do something and kind of okay, give me something
They,
to
they
show
both
me.
put themselves into a coma, just fucking beat each other unconscious, and they can't do. The dude is a fucking tug, and I
Yeah, he's
can't
a
stand
total
him.
douche. He's a total. Yeah, Connor, if you're watching this, yeah, man.
Yeah, fucking, you're a disgrace to my fucking country, you fucking gobshite.
What Marty said.
You know
Yeah,
he beat a fucking 60-year-old man for not fucking drinking his shitty whiskey in a pub. There's a video of it.
really, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
he comes into a bar in Dublin and he's buying everyone whiskey. And this old lad, who's obviously comes into the bar every day just fucking mind his own business, drink his pint, refuses to drink McGregor's whiskey, and McGregor punches him off the stool. Fucking 60-year-old man, you fucking
Come on,
dick.
man. Yeah, just more reason not to like him, man. Yeah, but God, man, that's that's messed up, man. Yeah, it's like gotta hate people like that, dude.
He's a fucking bully and a
Loud
reprobate.
mouth. Yeah. Russell just subbed, man. Cool. Thanks, Russell. Yeah, definitely
Thank you,
check out
Russell.
Marty's channel. He's got some cool stuff. Well, if Jake's in it,
He is dreamy. Jake Gyllenhaal is dreamy. I'm not gonna deny that. But
he's pretty ripped in it too. What if Connor tries to fight? What? What if Connor tries to fight? Is all? What do you mean, man? Oh, cool. Thanks,
thanks,
Jamie.
Jamie.
See, it's up to you as well, man. But all right, Marty, it's been over 2 hours now, so I'll go ahead and I'll let you. I know you got to get fight us all. I mean, I think if enough of us. I think we can take him out, Marty. You and I,
I'm
and
just gonna
somebody.
hit the fucking cunt with a car. Just drive into a car and run him over with the fucking thing, and then put it in reverse and run it over again.
And I'll just stand there and do the Nelson. Ha ha.
Fucking, you fucking bastard. Just fucking.
On that note, good stuff, Marty. Thanks again, man.
Thanks again for having us, dude.
And
Absolute pleasure.
thanks everybody for stopping by and hanging out with us. For the first, I guess, my first live stream on my channel, and hopefully not the last. Maybe we can do this every other weekend or something, Marty, depending on how our schedules, obviously. But yeah, everybody.
I'm down for it. Just I gotta see my work situation because I'm not working at the moment. But if I get a gig, it could be
exactly. No, exactly, man. It's based on your schedule, and because I know over there it's like, man, you're already past 2 o'clock, and I mean here it's just gonna be 9. So, yeah, definitely, we'll definitely work something out, man. So this way it can work with both work schedules. And even if we don't do it like on a Friday night or something like that, we'll figure something out for sure.
Play it by ear.
But again, guys, thanks so much for stopping by, and hopefully we'll see you next time for another live stream. Take it easy. Have a great weekend, everybody. Be safe and have a good one, man.
Have a good one. Sláinte mhaile.